In episode 1 of the brilliant healer's new life in the shadows, Ishin de Chiryu Shaitita no Enai Yakadatazu Tsutsui Husarita Tensai Chiushi, Yami healer to Shite Tanashiku Akiru. We are plunged into a deeply stratified world where healing magic, typically a symbol of salvation, is monopolized, corrupted, and weaponized by those in power. The episode constructs its foundation upon several intersecting themes, each layered with social commentary, character introspection, and world-building intricacy. The kingdom of Herzith is built upon a harsh duality. The well-off enjoy abundant access to official healing services, while the poor are left to rot in alleys and slums. From the first scenes, this disparity is rendered vividly through animation. The pristine uniforms and majestic halls of licensed healers stand in stark contrast to the disease-ridden streets of the lower city. The licensed healers are depicted not as saviors but as bureaucrats who trade health for profit, and who scoff at healing that does not follow their rigid protocols. This societal rot is more than setting. It is the very reason Zenas, our protagonist, exists as both rebel and healer. The episode confronts us with a sobering question. What happens when compassion is regulated and help becomes a privilege, not a right? Zenas is no messiah or crusader. He doesn't set out to change the world with a grand speech. He works silently, in shadows, healing the forgotten and outcast. His backstory, rising from poverty and studying healing after a chance meeting with a wandering mendicant, frames him not as a prodigy bestowed with greatness, but as a self-made genius carved by necessity and pain. His expulsion from the hero party is more than a narrative device. It is a moment of symbolic shedding, where he abandons recognition and legitimacy in favor of authenticity and truth. His underground clinic in the slums becomes a microcosm of resistance, not just against the state-sanctioned medical order but against the notion that status equals merit. There's a layered moral debate running beneath the surface. Zenas uses healing magic without a license, an illegal act, but does so with more skill and compassion than any official healer. What is more, just obeying laws that uphold corruption, or breaking them to fulfill the original purpose of the craft. The show cleverly leaves this for viewers to ponder, all while painting a clear picture of the dangers he faces. Potential arrest, banishment, or death. Not for harming anyone, but for helping too effectively Ian Lily, the elf girl rescued from a life of slavery. We find the emotional core of the episode. Her bond with Zenas forms quickly but believably, rooted in gratitude, vulnerability, and mutual respect. She is not just a narrative device to humanize Zenas. She represents the beginning of something profound, the birth of a family unbound by blood, forged through compassion. The same thread extends to Carmilla, the ghostly presence in the clinic. Though her role is mysterious, her playful banter and lingering sorrow hint at a deeper story of loss and connection. Together, this trio Zenas, Lily, Carmilla becomes a thematic counterpoint to the sterile, loveless hierarchy of licensed healers. They heal because they care, not because it pays. The introduction of the three demi-human gangs and their charismatic female leaders, Fiora, Nyasha, and Katia, adds a gritty political layer to the episode. Zenas, though unaligned, chooses to heal anyone in need, regardless of faction. This neutrality earns him respect and suspicion alike, positioning him as a wild card in the underworld. These gangs, while outwardly threatening, are painted with moral nuance, protectors of their own kind in a system that has abandoned them. The episode suggests that morality is not a binary of good and evil, but a shifting scale defined by survival and community. Zenas' place within this ecosystem, an unaffiliated healer who refuses to take sides, makes him both powerful and precariously exposed. Carmilla's ghostly presence infuses the episode with a spectral ambience. Her very existence raises questions about the spiritual cost of unfulfilled duty and the metaphysical consequences of healing magic. Is her haunting a metaphor for the lives Zenas could not save? Or does she represent the bridge between life and death that healers walk each day? Her humor and lightness provide contrast to the episode's weighty themes, but there's an undercurrent of tragedy in her lingering that promises future revelations. Her connection to the clinic's past, possibly tied to Herzith's history, hints at a grander arc where magic and mortality collide. The direction of episode 1 is masterfully paced. Warm light filters through the cracks of Zenith's shabby clinic, a visual metaphor for hope seeping through despair. The fight scenes are sparse but well-animated, and the healing sequences glow with ethereal blues and silvers, emphasizing the sacred nature of Zenith's magic. Character designs are deliberately juxtaposed, the haughty, clean-lined official healers versus the expressive, diverse faces of the demi-human factions. Every visual cue reinforces the central tension: institutional rigidity versus lived compassion. In summary, Episode 1 of The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows is a multifaceted opener that uses its fantasy setting to explore classism, ethical rebellion, spiritual liminality, and the resilience of those who find power not in authority, but in service. It's not just a story of a healer, it's a statement about what it means to care in a world that has forgotten how.